Welcome to the deep dive. We got some interesting stuff today. Uh, Materials from Sidekicks Karate and Wellness.
Yeah, their website and a promotional piece about a free trial.
Right. And we're diving into how they approach child development. Our mission, really, is to unpack how Sidekicks says they go beyond just, the martial arts moves.
Beyond the physical.
Exactly. How they aim to build character and resilience in kids.
Okay.
And since you like it getting straight to the point, we'll focus on those key ideas they put forward.
Sounds good. What jumps out right away, I think, is how they position themselves. It's not just about technique.
Not just kicks and punches.
No, not at all. They're very clear about focusing on the mental and emotional side. Character development is like a stated goal.
Okay, so nurturing the whole child, building inner strength, resilience. That's the claim.
Right. It makes you ask, though, how do they actually do that? What parts of the program make it happen?
Good question. Because saying it is one thing. So when you looked at the materials, what specific things suggest they're building this inner strength and not just, well, saying they are?
Well, they talk about having a structured environment, engaging activities.
Okay.
But the value isn't just the activity itself, it seems. It's more about consistently facing challenges, but in a supportive place.
Ah, so kids can test themselves a bit.
Yeah, and learn how to cope. They really emphasize a safe and supportive environment. That seems crucial for letting kids grow internally.
Makes sense. Now, one area they mention quite a bit is dealing with bullying and peer pressure. Seems pretty significant.
It does.
Based on what we have, how are they actually helping kids handle those tough social situations?
Well, they talk about fostering respect and empathy in the classes themselves, sort of building a better peer group dynamic from the start.
Okay, that's foundational.
But more practically, they mention using role-playing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and open discussions so kids get a chance to actually practice being assertive, setting boundaries, but, where it's safe to mess up.
Right, low stakes practice.
Exactly. And they also push encouraging kids to ask for help. That's a big practical skill they seem to teach.
Okay. And what of the peer pressure side?
Right.
The materials mention building inner conviction and mentorship
Yeah, that's where the instructors come in, I think.
as mentors.
Right. They become figures kids look up to, ideally, so they can model good choices, good values.
And that helps kids resist negative stuff.
The idea is that with consistent guidance, kids build up more self-assurance, enough to make choices that align with their values, even if the group is going a different way.
So it connects back to self-esteem.
Definitely. Developing what they call a strong sense of self-esteem and self-awareness seems to be the bedrock for pushing back against that negative pressure.
And self-esteem itself is another big theme for them, isn't it?
Huge.
They talk about praise, encouragement, celebrating achievements.
Yeah.
It sounds like a very deliberate strategy.
It does. And what's interesting is how they tie it directly to the martial arts goals.
How so?
Well, setting achievable goals, learning a new form, getting a stripe, whatever it is, and then meeting those goals, that gives a real boost in pride and confidence.
Ah, so it's not just empty praise.
Exactly. It's tied to something tangible the child has accomplished. They get a concrete sense that they can improve, that they are capable.
Okay, that makes sense. And then there's resilience, that ability to bounce back. How does the actual practice of karate help build that never give up attitude they talk about?
Well, just think about learning any complex skill, right?
Yeah.
Especially a physical one like martial arts.
Yeah, it takes work. It can be frustrating.
Totally. Mastering a new move, it takes time, effort, you get stuck. That whole process, the disciplined practice, pushing through when it's hard,
Yeah.
that's what builds resilience.
So the struggle is part of the point.
Pretty much. Their materials even mention framing challenges as growth opportunities, so they're actively trying to shift the mindset, make kids more adaptable, more persistent.
Got it. The sources also talk quite a bit about community and mentorship again. It's not just individual effort.
No, that seems really key. The connections between the instructors and the kids. That's support network.
The instructors as role models.
Yes, more
That-
than just teachers,
that-
and also the whole class environment, this idea of a welcoming community where every kid feels, valued and accepted.
That sense of belonging must be important.
Crucial, I'd say, for psychological safety, for healthy development overall. And they also mention personalized attention, trying to meet each kid where they are.
Right, right. Now, switching gears slightly, there was some practical info in there, too. For listeners maybe in the Rome or Whitesboro, New York area.
Yes, the promotional piece. It said, Sidekicks Karate and Wellness offers a free trial
Wow.
at their locations in Rome and Whitesboro, NY. And they gave the website, let's see, www.sidekickswellness.com.
Got it. Sidekickswellness.com.
Yep. And a phone number too. 315-339-3928.
315-339-3928.
Okay, good. So people interested can follow up.
Yeah, clear ways to find out more. All right, so if we kind of wrap this up, based on these sources, Sidekicks Karate and Wellness really positions itself as focusing heavily on character skills, resilience.
Alongside the martial arts, yeah.
Right. And they aim to do this by giving kids tools for things like bullying and peer pressure,
Building that self-esteem through actual achievement.
and using the discipline of martial arts itself to teach resilience.
And wrapping it all in a supportive community with instructors acting as mentors.
Yeah, exactly. They're presenting this model where karate is the framework, but the goal is really well-rounded, confident kids.
Kids better equipped for challenges, basically.
So thinking about this, it does raise an interesting point for anyone listening. Maybe consider how structured activities outside of school, especially ones that deliberately focus on character, like this seems to, how might those activities contribute to a child's overall growth in ways that maybe academics or just pure physical exercise don't quite capture?
Yeah, it's about those other skills, isn't it?
Those life skills, the inner resources, things that are so important for navigating childhood and, well, everything after, something to think about.